Out with the old, in with the new. Old. Today on Night of the Shield. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Night of the Shield. I'm Jason Smith, a.k.a. the Oakland Knight, and you are watching Night of the Shield. All right, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be updated every time I drop another video. And smack that like button. Let's continue to move up the algorithm. All right, a lot of different things to get into and talk about today. This is probably the second or third time that I've tried to accomplish this video. I had one already done, put together, ready to upload when all the other news changed. So now I have to find another way to discuss all the rumors and things that are spinning around. So obviously Tom Brady left. He retired, okay, out with the old. And now we're into the new old as the rumors start to burn up and heat up and really start to create some smoke when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. We got Devontae Adams putting out tweets and people posting that Aaron Rodgers bought some property and, yada, yada, yada. A bunch of your typical offseason noise. Now, I've come to learn over the past not to jump and get too hyped up over stuff that is so distant, right? It's so distant. Right now, the only focus is on the Pro Bowl, which really doesn't matter. You got the Senior Bowl, and then you got the Super Bowl. And the only thing that's going to be happening between now and then is us moving Derek Carr, which is the first thing that has to happen, right? Because we have till the 15th to make a decision whether or not we find a trade partner or we're cutting ways. And until that happens, the Raiders are not making any move for Aaron Rodgers unless it's a deal directly with Green Bay regarding Derek Carr. So, and I don't necessarily see that happening. I think if they find a way to unload Rodgers, if that's what they want to do, they're going to run with Love. It wouldn't make sense to put up another $30 million quarterback on their roster. I think they would take the money, the draft picks, and rebuild. With that mouthful said, let's go ahead and talk about Derek Carr a little more. Now, the interesting thing about Tom Brady retiring is that it boosted up Carr's value. Not so much the Pro Bowl, because as we know, the Pro Bowl has pretty much become a circus to me at this point. People that are there are not necessarily the ones that were elected there to begin with. So it is an honor to be directly voted in to play in the Pro Bowl. And it's a different story when you're alternate and you start building up these teams off of alternates. To me, it just waters things down. But nevertheless, it's a Pro Bowl opportunity. I think that could raise his value a little bit. But I think the fact that he is one of the best, if not probably top 3 at this point, quarterback available on the market, with what people don't think is a reasonable contract, but I think it is. I don't think it's too bad. He might be slightly overpaid, but now you're just talking pennies here. And I think there will be somebody that will offer up some sort of trade out of desperation. There's a lot of football teams looking for quarterbacks, and not everybody's going to get their starting quarterback this year in the draft, even if their plan is to draft one later. Kind of like us, right? So that's the dilemma we're in. So step number 1. Solidify Derek Carr. We need to get that off our table so we could focus in on who our next quarterback's going to be. And here's the funny thing that really gets me riled up, right, is I'm over here. I know a lot of people see it, right? We know what we need. We need defense, and we need defense in a big way, but we just can't help ourselves. We can't help ourselves talking about this offense, the players that we have could keep, Josh Jacobs being the other alternate there, that we don't know what we're going to do with him yet, but that we have options to keep him. He will be a Raider if he signs the deal. And then now we're looking at, whether or not what we get for Derek Carr or not, and if we trade for Aaron Rodgers. Now, there's pros and cons to everything, right? And I could see why Aaron Rodgers makes sense. If you look at our division as a whole, now we have Sean Payton over there in Denver with Russell Wilson getting ready to resurrect his career. We'll find out really quick if it's Russell Wilson the problem or not, right? But with a guy like Sean Payton and all those weapons that they do have and still a great defense, they automatically, to me, become contenders in that division. We got to put up a fight. San Diego coming back, Justin Herbert being who he is. I mean, they continue to be a team that performs well and fails at the end, a lot like we have in the past, So again, maybe we don't have to fear San Diego that bad, and they have some cap issues they're dealing with as well, but we can't overlook them either, right? And then you got the Kansas City Chiefs that are just on top of the food chain. They proved it this year. They're not going nowhere. They got the best in the game, and that is the standard that we're trying to live up to. That's who we have to take out if we're going to take over this division. But we have Mahomes, we have Herbert, we have Wilson, we have Andy Reid, we got Sean Payton. Like, if we're going to compete and really compete, and it's been put out there that Mark Davis says, hey, this is your opportunity. You show me something or you don't. This is where Aaron Rodgers 100% makes sense, and we might pay the price to do it. Now, to me, there's only two things that will stop us from trying to acquire Aaron Rodgers. Number one, price. You know, we're not gonna spend the whole bank to try to get Aaron Rodgers. It would not make sense. The other thing would be Mark Davis. So if Mark Davis pulls the boys in the room and says, look, Tom Brady was my plan, because we all know that first and foremost, that was Mark's boy, right? And that's one narrative he would have pushed. You're getting me Brady. Well, that's off the table. Well, at least we think so. We'll see what happens moving forward. But as of right now, Brady's off the table. So does Mark actually sit these guys down and be like, you know, what are our options right now? What are we looking at? What can we do? I don't think there's anybody else on the market that we can come in. I know people talk about Jimmy G. I don't think that's the right move. Brissett, I don't think that's the right move. I don't think, you know, even there's a lot of people. I don't think that there's anybody out there the caliber of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady that's going to come in here and compete right away with our division, which forces us to say, what do we do? Okay. Now, if you do go grab a guy like Jimmy G, all right, you definitely got to side back Stidham. But that means we're almost forced, right? We're almost forced to make a move early on in the draft for our quarterback, because we're looking for someone that could start right away. And history will tell you that that's not always a guarantee. Some of the best quarterbacks have been found in later rounds, diamonds in the rough. You know, I mean, we may be forced to think we have to. And in fact, to me, there's only three. There's only three that maybe have the potential to transfer over. And that's Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Will Levis. And again, not guaranteed. And that still may cost us. If we want to guarantee to get one of those three, it still may cost us to go up. So it may be something that we do think, like, if we're put in that situation, why not go knock on Green Bay's door, see what we could put together? Because at that point, you're going to have to spend the cap anyway to move up to get one of the three newbies. You might as well spend that, get Rodgers. Rodgers claimed that he will restructure his contract and help the team out that he goes to, especially if he gets to play with his boy Devontae. It just makes sense. So for me, it comes down to what the price really is, right? It may be cheaper just to try to get one of the other three. But either way, we need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. We need a bridge quarterback. And I don't feel comfortable bringing Stidham in. You know, I get it. Defense wins championships, and I want as much defense as we can gather. I think that is the key for us right now. I think we have the offensive weapons that we could bring in somebody to manage, but, you know, you're talking about Josh McDaniels in a system that's kind of sketchy at best on his coaching style. We don't know if we even have the right coach to go up against the coaching staffs in our division. A lot of unknown. And also, you know, keep this in mind too. It's really early to peg us as totally dysfunctional. I mean, we gotta let this team make some moves, man. We're not even in the new calendar year yet. This is what happens when you don't have a QB, number one. And number two, this is what happens when you're giving up on one and you're trying to trade them because you have a February 15th deadline that they put themselves in. So in a lot of ways, I can't wait till the 15th, because one way or another, we'll have a better understanding of what we're looking at moving forward. And then maybe we could focus in on free agency. We got Patrick Graham at the Senior Bowl, you know, and everybody already making videos talking about all these quarterbacks the Raiders are talking to. They're targeting this guy. Look, every organization will talk to every prospect. If you're in need for a quarterback, you would be dumb not to talk about people you can get in the third or fourth round. Because like I said, there's diamonds in the roughs out there, right? You have to do your homework. It's one of those things. It's not like a wide receiver where you could put two or three on the field at one time. right? It might be easier to find one banger. But a quarterback is just one on the field. That's it. You're one and done, man. You have to have the right guy or you're just done. You're done. Aaron Rodgers buys us some time. Aaron Rodgers, depending on the price and what we have to give up, may give us until next year to make that decision. But literally, just as much as Tom Brady retirement helped out in Derek Carr's value, Mark Davis could help out by taking some of the pressure off for us to get a quarterback for the future and defense, which in some ways it makes sense, right? The problem is you're probably not taking this division, maybe not even getting wild card. I don't care. You would have to have a miracle at quarterback and one hell of a defense. Even with Aaron Rodgers, we could be looking at that, to be honest. I mean, we need a defensive miracle. So that's what makes it tough. But anyway, I mean, we could ramble on and on and on about defense and quarterbacks. First things first, let's find Carr a new home, okay? Let's go find a new car, a new garage for Carr to park in, right? Let's take care of that first, and then we can set our sights on who our next quarterback's going to be. And I guarantee you it'll be till after the Super Bowl when more of the smoke gets bigger and bigger and we kind of find the flame that's inside the smoke. Because, if it's Aaron Rodgers, cool. At the right price, which that price is still going to cost us something, I get it. I get why they would do it, but that means we're trying to compete and make a difference now. But we still have to develop the future because there's a lot of uncertainty with Aaron Rodgers too. Retiring, not retiring. I don't know. It's a weird time. I mean, I'm really excited for the offseason, but at the same time, I'm really scared because this could go really good or this could go really bad. But then again, that's Raider Nation, baby. That's the way we roll, right? Let's go ahead and gamble. We're in Vegas now. We're going to gamble. We're going to pull slots. We're looking for jackpots. We're looking for it all. So here we go. We're on the strip. We're getting ready for a new quarterback. Let's do it, right? Let's build defense, get a new quarterback. Let's see what happens, right? All right, guys, I'm going to jump out of here. Thank you for bearing with me and listening to my rant. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be updated every time I drop another video, and hit that like button so I can continue to move up the algorithm. And until next time, y'all stay Raider strong. Night out.